You ever hear a story so strange, you're not sure if the person telling it is serious? That's how I felt the first time my Aunt Lorena mentioned the girl in the moss. Back then, I thought she was just trying to creep me out. This all happened last summer, when my mom asked me to stay with her for a few weeks. Aunt Lorena lived alone in a weathered cabin way up in the Northwoods. So far out, you had to drive half an hour just to get to a dirt road. And from there, another 10 minutes to reach the cabin. She was 73, but honestly tougher than people half her age. She could still haul buckets of water from the well, chop wood, even fix the roof herself. But she also had habits, strange ones. Every window had a kerosene lantern burning after dark. Curtains stayed open, no matter what. And there was a small hunting rifle leaned up against the kitchen wall, always within arm's reach. The first night I asked her about it, she just tapped the table twice and said, "Light keeps her from wandering in." "Who?" I asked. Her eyes didn't leave her teacup. "You don't want to know, Evan." I didn't push it. Lorena was always a little eccentric. She'd spent most of her life up here, running a small trap line, selling handmade quilts. Loneliness does things to a person, I guess. The first 2 nights were uneventful. I spent my days splitting logs, checking the trail cams with her. And in the evenings, we'd sit in the living room listening to the radio. Then, on the 3rd night, I woke up thirsty. Couldn't have been much past midnight. The place was so quiet, it almost hurt my ears. I padded into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and out of habit, glanced through the window above the sink. At the edge of the clearing, just past the ring of lantern light, stood something. It was small, child-sized, but I couldn't make out the face. The moonlight caught on its skin, or whatever was covering it, and it looked mottled, damp. Its hair, if that's what it was, hung in long, tangled strands, like clumps of moss from a dead tree. I froze, the glass halfway to my lips. The thing didn't move, didn't sway with the wind. It was just watching. A floorboard creaked behind me. My aunt was standing in the doorway, her eyes fixed on the window. She didn't even look at me when she said, "Don't open the door and don't speak to her." Her voice was calm, but the way she gripped the back of the chair told me she wasn't calm at all. The next morning, she looked exhausted. Dark rings under her eyes, a stiffness in her movements. She didn't bring it up, and neither did I, until after lunch. That's when she finally told me about the Moss Child. "She comes for people in this family," Lorena said. "First, she watches, then she speaks, and once you hear her voice, you've already agreed." I asked, "Agreed to what?" But she wouldn't say. She just stared out the window toward the tree line. I should have taken her seriously, but I didn't. Not until the next night. It was maybe 1 a.m. when I heard it, scratching at the back door. Not like an animal, more deliberate, slow, patient drags of nails on wood. I crept into the kitchen, thinking maybe it was a raccoon. The noise stopped. Then I saw them, small, wet footprints on the porch, bare feet, stained green. I was about to wake Lorena when I noticed they led down the slope behind the cabin. I don't know what got into me, Morbid curiosity, maybe, but I grabbed a flashlight and followed. The trail ended at a massive, hollowed-out stump I swear I'd never seen before. The air was heavy there, almost swampy. When I bent down to look inside, I heard it. A voice, not out loud, but inside my head. Soft, almost kind. It's nearly your time, Evan. I ran, full speed back to the cabin, slammed the door and locked it. When I told my aunt, she didn't yell. She didn't even look surprised. She just sighed and said, "She's marked you now. You'll see her again, on the last night you're alive." I laughed it off, pretended not to believe her, but deep down, something in me knew she was telling the truth. It's been months since then. I moved back to the city, changed my number, tried to forget. But this morning, while I was chopping wood for my fireplace, I caught a glimpse of movement in the trees across the street. Something small, patient, watching, and when I stepped inside, I saw it, one wet green footprint by my front door.